Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, are you ready? Are you ready? Get ready, no. Get ready.
Okay, good morning. We got our dancers ready to start the party. Oh yeah, go Nick. Go Nick, oh bye. Callie, it was so nice meeting you. I will see you. Brook Valley Mall was here this morning. We can share more about that later. All right, if you're all ready, we're going to get the party started. And I'm very excited about this morning's presenters. It's the most incredible entrepreneurial story. They are all very incredible. But this one, hey, it's really very cool. And we love sharing those. And I want to say thank you to Sherry Hopkins with GP Chamber for being such a great partner and bringing these incredible humans here. All right, me too. That's how it works. And always, please feel free to send incredible entrepreneurs and people that are scaling or starting to us at the 1MC. We love to support them. Reminder, there's a lot of incredible leaders, visionaries in the room. With Business Oregon here. Like wherever you need some support, there's a lot of support in the room, so be sure to take time maybe to network or introduce yourself and take advantage of what's happening. So, the 1MC, we are very excited to offer stoned metal today, and I'm just gonna leave it a mystery. I'm not gonna say anymore because I'm gonna let them share their incredible story, and without further ado, would you like to take the stage? Willie. Oh, you got it? Oh, yeah. I can't give you this one.
Trying to wake this thing back up. There we go. Excellent. Hello. Thank you so much for having me today. I'm really excited to be here. I'm also a little bit nervous. So I'm going to be reading from this piece of paper so that I can keep track of what I'm saying. So, yeah, go ahead and keep track of any questions you might have for afterwards, of course, because I'm ready to answer them. So my name is Willie Love. I am a jeweler, and I specialize in making press-on fingernails out of precious metals. I know that sounds a bit weird, and that's why sometimes I describe my business as being like a smudge on a Bob Ross painting. It's one big happy accident. In November of 2023, oh, that's showing up there? Great. In November of 2023, I was about to turn 30 and just finished CDL school, so I was looking for a truck driving job. While I was doing that, something in me was setting off alarms. I don't know if it was frontal lobe development or fear of forgetting my inner passion for philanthropy through art. And I had an epiphany. For once in my life, my future was at my own fingertips. I pivoted harder than a chihuahua whose tail was stepped on. If I didn't take a leap of faith in the direction of my dreams, the chances of doing it later were grim. So now I had my commercials driver's license, and I thought, okay, that's my fallback if I totally blow it. The new plan is I'm going to learn how to cut precious gemstones, and I'll make videos of me learning for social media. That's my best bet for making money doing something I don't know how to do with no one to teach me to do it. I drove a 16-hour road trip. Sorry, I'm doing my best here. I drove a 16-hour round trip to buy a broken fastening machine for $800 to try to fix it and teach myself to cut gemstones. That was a lot of money for me at the time, and it was barely justifiable. I mean, we lived in a trailer. I also realized that I want to make finished pieces, obviously. So I risked another $300 and bought some tools like hammers and files and a jeweler's handsaw. I wanted to put stones in metal, so I registered my business as Stoned Metal, just in case somebody actually wants to buy something I make. I set up shop in my van because, again, I lived in a trailer, and while clumsily teaching myself how to make these new tools, I kept wearing down my nails, and they would become tender and painful to work with. So I cut a piece of brass out of an old spittoon can and glued it to my thumb and index finger as a shield so I could work longer. It wasn't pretty, just necessary. I was posting my progress of learning to make jewelry on social media to my 60 followers when somebody posted a comment asking what the deal was with my shiny fingernails. Of course, I jumped on that morsel of attention and started filming a short video of me making a new one, except I tried to make it prettier. I posted that video, and within a week, I got 1 million views and about 5,000 new followers. From then on, I put everything I had into learning new skills and refining my technique with both the nails and making videos for social media. The nails were never supposed to be a stop on this road trip, but now they're steering the whole journey. This is the hardest I've ever worked to achieve something. Here we are 2 years later. I have over 160,000 followers, and I've accumulated over 100 million views from the videos I've continued to post. Now I'm the world's #1 goldsmith who specializes in making nail jewelry. I've made jewelry for celebrities, and this week I just finished up my first big collaboration project for a video game promotion. My lovely wife has risked moving her full-time nursing job down to part-time because we all know that running a business is so much more than just making the food or building the fence or making the jewelry. We moved out of the trailer into this little one-bedroom house, and now the shop has moved from the van into the house. And I mean the whole house. The living room, the kitchen, and the shop are really the same room, but we're doing our best with what we've earned so far. I'm not trying to lead you believe that I have anything figured out. That is super far from the truth, but it's also the beauty of the whole journey. We're doing well enough to pay bills on time, but the real progress is slow. The problem is that I'm still using basic tools, and since my success is social media based, I'm still just making videos with my iPhone. That combination has me working an unsustainable amount of hours to keep up, and I can't even keep taking orders because I have 8 months of orders in line to fill already at this pace. It takes a week to make a full set of nails with no fancy add-ons like engraving if I actually get to sit at the bench every day and work. There is jewelry manufacturing equipment that would make a set of nails only take 2 days to make by myself, and with the right filming equipment, I would be able to make better quality content, which is significant because brand deals hold the real potential. It is mind-boggling just how scalable this business model is, even if I'm still making everything by myself. The thought that we're just barely getting started fires me up. Right now, we're focusing on speeding up the pace with the equipment we do have so we can catch up and hopefully start building the funds to invest in the gear that will propel us forward. My main goal these days, when I don't have my head down at the bench, is encouraging others to commit to what they're doing and be willing to adapt and even pivot. This smudge on a Bob Ross painting is on the verge of going from a happy accident to being a masterpiece that can influence the betterment of our community. Stone metal's success isn't the end goal, but with its ability to reach millions of people around the world time and time again, it is the stepping stone that can lead me to having time and resources to make a real difference. Was it really? I tried really hard to do that. Excellent. Well, if anybody has any questions, I'm here. Yes.
I'm totally fanning. I love your work. I follow you on Instagram. What was the highlight of your moment in being able to go down and visit some of the celebrities that you've met that want your work on their fingers?
Well, I haven't actually met any celebrities. In fact, I think I've only met one of my customers. What's cool about it, and the reason I can send stuff all over the world is because it's all online. The fitting of the nails is specific. It's kind of like getting grills for your teeth. You have to get an impression done. So I send a kit out, and you get the impressions done, you send it back, and I do the rest. So, yeah, I haven't really met any of the people.
6 degrees. 6 degrees.
Oh, at first it was a mess, and props to all the people who got nails before we made the process better, but we actually just had people buy a hand cast kit on Amazon, like the decorative things where you can hold your hands with your spouse or something like that. We would have them buy those and then do the kit, and then they would send us the kit in the mail. It was a big mess to have everybody do. So once I had Christina go down from her nursing job, she was able to do the R&D to figure out that we could get that dental mold kits to send out and do it that way.
You mentioned that there was equipment you could get over here.
I see it. I see it.
Sorry, man. Willie. By the way, his name is Willie with 2 L's and an I-E.
Yes, sir.
So you mentioned there was equipment you could get that would help you take it to the next level. How much is that equipment? And would you be thinking of bringing people on or just keeping it to yourself? But what is the cost of the equipment? What is it?
The equipment would be, there's a couple of things. A lot of the stuff that I do, the reason it's so meticulous is because it's precious metals, and I'm working over a very small little catch tray bucket type thing. But a real jeweler shop would have a vent hood and a filtration system that extracts all the precious metal particles and keeps the air safe to breathe and everything. So that's kind of the main thing, and it's the biggest thing because it's just everything in jewelry making is so expensive. I don't know if it's just because it's for making jewelry or what, but so it's a filtration system, and the tools that I would rather get first need that system to attach to. So like simple things like I'm using hand sanding pads to get the sanding down and get it higher in grit so that I can get to polishing. When I could use a belt sander, but then I have gold flying everywhere that I can't collect. So there's a lot of things that I could have already, but it's the whole system that I have to build into my shop area or in a window or something that's really keeping me from getting that equipment.
Que mucho.
And then, what's that?
How much?
Yeah, I came up, there's a couple other things besides the vent hood, but I was thinking $35,000 would get all of the stuff to complete my shop and, keep me from getting nerve damage in my fingers, basically.
Have you looked at jewelry stores going out of business? And we had one here locally that went out, the couple retired, that you might be able to get a good deal.
I would definitely check it out. I haven't got really a chance to get out much for anything at all lately.
Thank you.
Yes.
I just kind of wanted to give you some props because the perception of businesses in order to succeed is a business has a goal and they have to do everything they can to achieve that goal. But in reality, the true success is when you have that pivot point and you realize it and you take it. That's when you really succeed and you're not afraid to give something a try. So props to you. It's a real statement.
I definitely never thought that my thing would be making nails, so yeah.
Great job. Obviously, huge fan.
Thank you.
Follow you guys for everything. I hope you can show more pictures of the nails. But for the sake of asking a question, one of the things that really inspired me when I got to meet you and Christina and talk about your business plan, to Shannon's point, oftentimes it's quality metrics. I need to get to the 35,000, or I'm trying to reach this much in sales, or I'm trying to lower my production from 7 days to 2 days, which you all have dialed in. But when we talked about your social media presence and the fear of having to raise, how that would impact your followers, and truly your goal is to have an impact more than sell nails. Can you share a little bit of that with us? I mean, you told me you didn't care if somebody ripped off.
Sorry, that keeps cutting out on you.
You basically told me you don't care if somebody rips off your idea. If you can teach somebody else how to do it, you would do it.
Oh yeah, it's not really a thing of ripping off my idea. It's like, Bob Ross is a good example. He painted a lot of barns. If somebody else out in the world paints a barn, it's not a rip-off. It's art. The only reason art is cool today is because people over time have reiterated on things here and there. So there's going to be people who are like total prodigies that decide to start making nails in a different way, a better way, a faster way than I ever will. And I want that person to figure out that they are that person. So I have no problem with other people doing it. It's not a competition, really. I can't make nails for every person in the world that wants them. So it's just like a shopping mall has 3 nail salons in it. They're fine. They're not mad at each other. Everybody's got business. It exists. So yeah, no big deal. I'm always happy for that kind of stuff, and I do eventually want to teach people how to make them because maybe you can't make an entire business out of making nails, but jewelry shops would probably love to be able to offer it and have an employee that specializes in it. So I think it would be a great thing to teach people how to do. Yes.
Do you have a waiting list, and what is or if you do, what is the turnaround time between putting an order in and somebody receiving their nails? And also, how much of your work is technical that you could farm out to, like, an assistant, and how much is artistic that it takes your eye to make the final product?
So great questions. So the thing with videos going viral is when you get, like, I just last week I posted a video that's at like a 7 or 8 million views now, and when that happens, then that's a lot of people to filter through a few that actually want to buy it. So when that happens, we try to release orders in a set number because I can only work so fast. So right now, if orders are closed right now because we just don't want to add more time to people. So we'll open eventually once the time's down. But if people are like emailing us consistently and insisting that they want to get in line before the next batch opens, then we're at 6 to 8 months waiting period right now because that's how many people are in line at the moment. When it comes to the being able to outsource some of the work or get an employee to do some of it, I have tried to teach a couple of people how to make the nails right now by hand with hammers and files. I didn't realize how difficult it was to do or to teach, so that's part of it. It's really difficult to teach somebody how to do it. I just kind of figured it out out of necessity, and by the time people were offering to actually pay me to make them, I was okay at it. So it's difficult to teach with new processes like wax casting or something like that. I imagine it will be easier, but there's a lot of the final touches and the shaping of the nail that is surprisingly specific. And I've also had customers during our appointment that are making sure that I'm the one making them because of the whole parasocial internet thing. So that's part of it.
So Willie, thank you for speaking. You did amazing. Really appreciate it. You didn't seem nervous at all. And I wanna follow up on Jerry's point, just to let you know that I sent a message over to Nick King, who was a jeweler, asking if he has any leads on where to score some equipment. And I love that idea because I think part of what I was recommended a book called Who Not How, and that was in May. I read that and I was like, man, I just changed my mentality entirely about how to approach business. And sometimes you'll find who's along the way that will be just really interested in investing in you, in helping in different ways, and how you kind of can reimburse them looks differently in different situations, and it can evolve too. So finding people to kind of do the pieces that don't require the ideal skill, like helping with social media, for example, because that takes a lot of your time. Organizing your systems. I'm sure that you got a lot of help with that as well. But there may be even aspects on the technical side that you can kind of delegate, or even outsource some of the things that are a little bit more menial to kind of free up your time. And then, of course, investing in your equipment. Have you ever considered Kickstarter or anything like that to kind of raise some funds towards that end?
I really haven't. I guess in a way I've been really content with the progress we have, and even though things are at what sometimes feels like a standstill, I know that some organization and a little bit more of keeping my nose down will get us to where we need to be. So I guess I just haven't felt, maybe for lack of a better word, desperation. So I haven't been out seeking ways to get funding because, I guess it might be a pride issue, but I have earned what I have so far since, that first $800 that I spent. And so, yeah, yeah, I haven't thought about doing something like that. I haven't thought about doing something like this, but I was invited, and I'm very grateful to be here.
Just to kind of touch on that, because I get that too, from both a pride perspective and also like, there's not an urgent need. So if there's not an urgent need, I don't necessarily act. I really would suggest like investing in you right now, in your own development. There's lots of books that you can consider, Who Not How being one of them. 7 Habits is one, because it talks about being proactive. It talks about like living it more in your quadrant 2, where things are scheduled and planned, which is for people like us, it's not a fun place to be. That's why you got good health.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
First of all, really cool idea. You're in that stage where when you see like toaster strudels, right? This is gonna be a really random example. Toaster strudels, everyone's like, I wish I had invented that. Things like that. You're that guy right now, so enjoy the ride, first and foremost. Secondly, have you thought about releasing any sort of like popular designs for sale to other people? Say, hey, you're allowed to make this, this is the design, and essentially be able to bulk up sales that way without having to increase the amount of work you're doing, but allow your designs, your styles, your patents, whatever you want to consider them, to exist elsewhere and someone else to figure that out.
Right, so I've thought about this kind of stuff a little bit. The only way that I would be able to find extra success from, you know, some kind of passive thing like that would be if I were to make tools that I could patent and send out that way. But like, you know, you can't patent the making of the nails unless I make a machine that makes them, and that's not possible because everybody's nails are different. Unless I have like $100,000 worth of scanning equipment and printing equipment and all that, but then that's taking the life out of the whole thing. So that's also why I'm stoked about other artists trying to make the nails. And then when it comes to stuff like, I mean, I could engrave Netflix on a nail, and I don't get in trouble because I'm not mass producing it. So it's a really iffy situation when it comes to trying to figure out how to make something that you own that you have to get money from other people to do. So it's a lot.
Yeah, templates. Like he's talking about templates of your design. Yes, you got a popular design. Let's just say it's an eagle, right? Just for sake of
Sure.
it's an eagle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You sell that design to other people who then are allowed to decide, okay, I want to try and figure this out. I want to make this. I want to do this. Or I want to incorporate that design onto this style of nail or whatever it may be.
Right, like an engraving or something that they were going to put on the nail, like a template. So even if I did that, people are fully allowed to take that design and do it by hand without paying me for free. Like I said, I can engrave Netflix on a nail, and I don't have to ask them if I can do it or not.
Thank you, Willie. Quick question over here, way back here. I'm always boggled by this. As an artist, how do you establish your pricing? What are you worth as an artist who can add some sort of subjective premium on top of what you're doing?
Yeah, so at first I was charging what I've never done anything like it, obviously, and anytime I had a job, somebody told me my wage. So I was excited to be making money at all as an artist, not working for somebody else. So I was charging like a dangerously low amount, and we raised prices a couple times. And so if I was doing everything by hand without casting or anything, I was making just a little less than the average tattoo artist. So now that I was hoping that I can keep the prices where I am, and as I get faster at doing it, which I know, I mean, stuff exists to help me get so much faster. That way I wouldn't have to raise prices on people, and I would be earning more just by getting better and faster at it. So, yeah. Yeah.
Dan, I appreciate that question because, and this is one thing that when I very first met Willie and Christina was mind-blowing to me because they are artists, they are compassionate, and I'm capitalist, and I want to make money at everything. And I encourage them right out of the gate based on their supply and demand to double their prices. And I thought he was going to fall over. He's like, I will lose all the loyal people who have followed me since day one. It's more about the impact. He's being incredibly humble up here. because it was more about the people that were there with him in the beginning and have been in waitlist. Did you double your prices?
Yes.
Did it change? Did it change your supply and demand?
I mean, it's hard to say, but it slowed down. Yeah, it slowed down, but in a good way, because it filtered out people who don't really care that much, and then the people who are kind and understanding of time frames and all that kind of stuff and actually want the jewelry because they appreciate what I'm doing are the people that I get now, rather than the people who don't realize I'm not a huge corporate jewelry shop with 100 employees. So it slowed it down in a good way, I think. And I still can't keep up, so.
Willie over here. Yep. I guess so. I have looked at your Instagram, but I haven't watched many of your videos. I'm just putting that out there as a little
That's
context.
all right.
So the question I have is how you just mentioned that you appreciate the people who understand that it's you, an artist, that's doing this, not a big corporate machine doing this, right? How well are people able to get to know you through your videos and your social channels as an artist?
Yes, I do my best to, I'll answer questions that are in comments, or if there's a video I posted that has a lot of the same comment on it, then I'll address that in the next video, just simple stuff like how do you make them stick? So the next video I post, I'll do a voiceover while I'm talking about how they stick with the glue and how I figured out how to make that work and how the nails are textured so that it sticks great to metal. So yeah, I'm doing that kind of stuff. And then I get hundreds of messages a week, messages, requests, and I get really excited when people are asking details of the making process, because I'm just so excited to tell them, oh, you just got to do this, you got it. And then like a week later, they'll message me back with a photo of the nails they try to make, and it's just like, it's more than the money or anything when that stuff happens. It's so cool. It makes me emotional to think about it. I get really excited when I get to teach other people how to do anything.
True to the name, Willie Love. I love it.
Thank you. I just had one other question. In terms of comparison to people ordering full sets to just one, what's the kind of the ratio? And do you have a special one that you send out that like has a Willie Love logo or something on it?
What do you mean the ratio? Like of people who get a lot versus one or two?
Yeah, what's the order?
It's surprisingly even, I would say. More people are definitely getting the ones and twos and stuff like that because it's cheaper, but a lot of the people who want the nails will just wait. They'll even let me know. Like, I'll get you in a few months, and then I can get a full set. So about a third are full sets. Okay. She knows the numbers. I just work. Yeah, so I don't always put my logo on it. I have had a couple people specifically ask me to. I was looking into getting custom stamps made, but it doesn't really work. I won't get into the details of the process because it would affect the shape of the nail. So I'm going to start just laser engraving it in the bottom of them. So.
Since I have the mic, I'll ask the question. No, I'm just kidding. Have you, and I was away for a second, so somebody might have asked, Willie Love, come on, that's an amazing name. Have you thought about hats, merch, things like that? Do you do merch at all?
I don't do merch. Again, it feels weird. I really should do it because the people who can't necessarily buy nails want to support me, and if they can do it with $20 instead of a few hundred, then I should provide that. I just truly don't feel like I've had time to think about it. I do have a hat company called Finley Hats. I don't have it, sorry. There is a hat company called Finley Hats out of Portland, and they have made me custom hats and just sent them to me every once in a while, of course, so I can wear them in the videos and stuff. But they are interested in doing a collaboration with me where they will make a bunch of the hats to release, and then I'll make handmade hat clips to send with them. So they're thinking about doing like maybe 45 hats or something like that. So that kind of stuff is in the works. It's going to eventually happen. Luckily, just because there's so much coverage and eyes on my stuff, people like that will reach out to me and get it done. So, yeah.
Okay, so you kind of almost just touched on a little hint of this, but 2 to 3 years down the road, your business, you've been able to settle in, things are running smoothly, you found that 1 or 2 perfect employees that can kind of help you catch up and have a little breathing room. When you're sleeping at night and you wake up at 2 a.m., is there another plan starting to go? Is there another project?
Besides this jewelry thing?
Yep.
Yeah, so not a specific project. I've always kind of had this idea since high school. Well, keep it super short. I grew up in a less than ideal environment, so I would do things like sleep in the Medford skate park because at the time that felt safer to me. Even though I wasn't homeless, it felt like a better place to be than when I was supposed to. And so I found myself in, youth groups and other stuff like that because I'm looking for free food and clothes and positive social interactions. So while I was doing that, even then I realized that it was changing how my life was going to go, which is different than the adults in my life I was observing. So it was awesome. And I wanted nothing but to be able to provide that experience for other people. So when I was in high school, I learned what the word philanthropy was. And so I just figured you gotta have the resources to do that. So that's the end goal, is in some way being able to make a difference for people who don't have the resources, especially young people who are kind of destined to perpetuate a cycle that nobody wants to see. So everything that I do, including stone metal, is I look at as stepping stones to get me to a place where I can do that kind of work, however it presents itself, because I'm down to pivot.
I have a question. I have one back here. So, in a world where people are watching other people play video games, they want to know what goes into the process of people's lives and businesses that might seem like mundane to them. You'd mentioned that you get a ton of people that come in and send you messages, want to know what you're doing, how you're doing it, when they get orders. I just feel like it would be a great opportunity. Maybe you commit once a month, because I know you're busy, you have things going on. More would be better, but maybe just do like a live, an Instagram live, something that you can actually like live up to and keep the consistency going so that people know that like one time a month or one time a week, they can come and actually understand like what you're doing, how you're doing it, and why. Maybe show a process of like a specific order. I just think that'd be a great opportunity just to show the masses like what you're doing and give them insight as to the whole process.
Yeah, I appreciate that suggestion. So I actually do, I have spent a few months working on my computer and getting it set up with OBS. It's a program for capturing the cameras and stuff that you have that you can use live. So I do have a Twitch account, and the plan is to start doing that, actually. So I have a few cameras in the shop that are set up that all move automatically if I, have them on AI mode or press a button to move them and stuff. So that is part of the plan. And I did like 2 lives within a couple weeks, and then video went viral, and then there was no chance of doing anything else for a while. So I do plan on doing that, and it is really exciting when I do, because that's all people are there for, is to ask me what's going on and watch me do the stuff, which is like my whole thing. I love it, so yeah.
Hi, I'm really loving your idea, and I thought if you did the imprint package for blanks, and then manicurists could put them on, have Willie Love on the bottom, have manicurists put them on, and then they can polish over them. If the, what do they take the polish off with? Doesn't dull the top.
Right.
And then that
So
would,
you mean like send the nails like so that manicurists are able to apply them for the customers?
the customer would buy the denture, the plaster kit, get the imprint, then you would send that customer the blank to their nails, and then it could be used over and over. They take them to their manicurist, the manicurist could paint on them. It would just be one side branch,
Yeah.
but still your
Yeah. Great.
product.
Great. I will definitely take that into consideration for sure.
Yeah, because you have these manicurists that can, I mean, what they can do. So the question would be whether or not acetone or removal would hurt the metal in any way, shape, or form, I guess?
No, I drop mine in a jar of acetone and leave them until I feel like putting them back on, so that the glue will dissolve. So yeah, no, they're good. Yeah, and I'm also going to be experimenting with enamels soon, so that I can offer colors that are going to be as lasting as regular jewelry. So.
Fantastic. You know, we're kind of going off this idea that's spinning around the room that you started speaking about, and I'm thinking Willie Love branded nails. There's an SOU professor at SOU, and he's got 2 nail businesses in Medford, and they're very, very, very well. And so, you know, I'm thinking like what you were saying, the both of you are kind of bouncing this idea off. What if you had somebody create a lower level Willie Love nail design where your engraving is printed on that nail?
Yeah.
Somebody could walk into a nail salon and be like, hey, I want these Willie Love nails.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I mean.
Now you're making money, right? You have a different price point where people are able to get in and they still get your design.
Yeah.
It's colorful. People are still know about it, and then you have your higher end market where you're doing the work.
Yeah, that's.
In acrylic for a lower end, but he's doing the higher end.
Yeah,
There's also Cerakote. I'm sure somebody would want to Cerakote nails, right? But I also want to share that the SBDC at RCC, the Small Business Development Center, they have a woman that does marketing. It's all free. You know, this is a community coming together to have a conversation with you about ideas about how to help you move forward.
Yeah.
The SBDC is a free way to have that marketing conversation. What can you guys do that's no cost to you, but could give you ideas and support you moving forward with this endeavor?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I did do one or two SBDC meetings right before I registered my business. So yeah, I should get back over there to them.
I've taken a couple classes too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
they'll help you edit videos, which you probably do great at, but I mean, that's the time-consuming portion of it all when you're trying to edit all this. And so they have a couple really great people that can help you edit stuff that you just send them the raw file, give them an idea, and they'll send it back.
Yeah, that's
So,
a
I
good
mean,
idea. The tough
that's-
part is I don't make any money off the videos.
Right.
So. Yeah, it's surprisingly difficult to be a maker and get anywhere on YouTube. But yeah, that's also part of the plan. I have made YouTube videos. I do have one. I've got, I think, like 2,000 followers on there or something like that. But yeah, it's all part of the plan. And part of my issue with YouTube and long form is that I make all my videos just on my phone still. So it's just, it really doesn't work with the memory and having a phone set up where a camera should be and not being able to use my phone. So yeah. Okay.
Willie. So Stone Metal is a great name, good SEO. You get, like you said, it's something people can find when they're looking for that thing, right? And I'm also hearing a lot of people gravitating towards you as an artist and the Willie Love name. Like, Willie Love is a great name and a great artist name. And having the Willie Love signature series, that like allowing that to be something that can take off and really put you in that position as being the artist. And this is something that people are asking for, the Willie Love edition. And, like that also allows your brand to grow beyond you while still allowing you to do your art, and possibly allowing some of the, allowing you to maybe bring some other people into your business to do some of the baseline designs while you are doing this sort of higher end Willie Love series, pieces that you really, I'm
I
sure,
understand.
love.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, great. I love it. You guys really are like going, oh, wow. I don't know what I'm doing, so I'm really appreciating this. This is awesome.
Also,
Great ideas.
just some feedback. Your humility is like amazing as well. Like, that's so endearing. People want to help somebody like you. And your passion and wanting your desire to help other people is also inspiring. So thank you so much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ed Hardy style. That's it. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so oh, yeah, go ahead. You go ahead, and then I'll ask another.
Hey, Willie. My name is Casey. I was really inspired and excited about what you're saying today. And I would just like to draw a line for you about when you were talking about kind of the anxiety about scaling and the anxiety about raising prices and wanting to keep it affordable, and to remember that your vision of philanthropy could be made possible by allowing yourself the scale. To scale and to have that bigger vision and to sell at a price point that really reflects the value and the artistry that you create, that all of these ideas could help fuel whatever ones catch for you, but they help fuel the end plan of being able to contribute, to grow, to connect young people to services and inspiration and vision. So,
I appreciate you saying that. Thank you.
How can this community help you?
I mean, it's always. I'm realizing right now that the community can help me in way more ways than money, which is what I thought, because I've gotten a lot just from you guys having suggestions and asking questions. But my initial thought was just money, just the equipment. Honestly, like when I'm working until 2 a.m. and I'm thinking about how I could have been done at 7 if I had a tool, is kind of the thing that kind of, when I'm not in the best mood, that kind of stuff eats me. I'm like, there's ways this could be so much better. Yeah, the time frame is the issue, but that's the whole issue. I could be accepting orders and having like a couple months of a turnaround rate if I was able to make the nails faster without smashing my fingers with hammers every day and stuff like that. So yeah, it's really a speed issue. The whole thing is speed. If I could get faster, that's what I need to do. So all I can think of is the tools that I know will help me do that.
It is real specific. Yeah. Very specific. So something else too, and I heard Terry mentioning this, I heard a couple of people mentioning this, which is you could continue to find the balance through pricing. Mm-hmm. So as you increase your pricing, the demand slowly goes down, and but you can find that equilibrium to where you don't have to go faster. It's not about going faster, right? You can hit that, you can make the same income that you're seeking to make while moving at the speed in which you, the artist and craftsman, move through finding that equilibrium of pricing to where, maybe you're still 2 months out, but you're not 8 months out, right?
Yeah.
And so anyways, just throwing that out there as something to think about.
I think that we're on a little teetering point with that because, so I'm just now within the next few weeks, I'm going to be done with orders that were from a batch when I wasn't charging enough. So, but I'm not going to be like, hey man, prices are up, I'm going to cancel your order and refund you or something. So I'm still like honoring the people who got in when the prices were that way. And then I have another batch of orders that after this few weeks, I'll start on those. And the stress level will go way down because that's when I did increase the prices. And when I do open orders again, it will be at those prices. So I've tried to make that move, but I'm still suffering the consequences of the lower prices from before for a little bit.
along those lines specifically, how are the price changes in precious metals actually impacting your pricing and people that are on a wait list?
People who are on a wait list, I do my best to order, like, say, the gold when they put the order in, because then I'm buying it that day's pricing instead of in a few months when I get to it when it's a few $100s more. So it'll affect it a lot, and every time we open for a batch of orders, we're going to have to evaluate that for gold specifically. Silver doesn't make huge changes. The silver is surprisingly cheap still overall when it comes to how much it costs to make them.
Are they putting a deposit down when they place that order?
Yeah, they're paying in full
Oh,
to
great.
get in line.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Winning.
Yeah.
Last question over there with James, please.
I know that this gentleman that had an Ashland is a jeweler. He's similar in age to you. If you want me to find out where they're at, I'm happy to tell you what place it is. I can look it up.
Do you know their name?
I can look it up.
Oh.
But have you connected and reached out to jewelers? This gentleman's similar in your age. Maybe you guys would hit it off. Maybe he's got tips for the work. He's doing the same fine work. You know, how not to bash your fingers and
no, definitely. I try to connect with some of those people. One of our friends, Jack Hoke, he's a crystal carver, and he's been located in Jacksonville and Ashland and stuff. He's in Medford right now. But yeah, I do try to get help. I also, since I've been able to reach so many people through social media, I have some really experienced, like, professional, educated jewelers that I frequently talk with about stuff like that. I actually just got some help with information, because one of the things with jewelry equipment is like they don't, the manual they come with isn't telling you anything. Like, it's like they expect you to have been fully educated on everything you could need before you even know what to get. And when you get it, you better know how to use it. So I've been using, experienced jewelers that have been really cool about helping me out, and that's the reason I know what equipment to get, and the reason I have the equipment I have now and know how to use it. So I do my best to get somebody to teach me something.
Big hand for Willie.
Thank you.
Willie, the newest member of our Orange Mug Club, congratulations and thank you so much. Wow, that is thick. That is quite a piece right there.
Thanks, I cut it myself.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. Let's have another big hand for Willie. Again, so impressed by the drive, the determination, the humility, the contribution, the care, all those pieces. There's so much to learn. So how can people connect with you after the event, and if you're not here in the same space?
Yeah, so if you type in Willie Love or Stoned Metal in social media or Google, Stoned Metal and Google will take you to me. But I also have a few cards that I'm down to hand out. I made some extra last night, so. Yeah.
Awesome. And will we be able to see you guys come back and hang out with us here at 1MC too?
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. Awesome.
Yeah.
Good. All right, well, hey, y'all, have a wonderful day. Thank you for being here today. Thanks for coming in, supporting Willie and Christina and their project and their amazing business that they're building. And y'all have a good day. We'll see you next week.